My name is Grant Morgan. I'm the youngest of 5 children. I'm married for nearly 22 years. I've got 4 great kids. I'm the son of an immigrant and I'm CEO of Louis Kennedy, which we will come on to. I went to a local state primary school, a religious secondary school. All the teachers, and I use the word teachers advisedly, were men of the cloth. And I'm convinced that the interview process went something like this. Are you a religious man? Yes. Are you fit to be employed elsewhere? No. Then come and work here. Suffice to say, I left school at 16 without a formal education and no qualifications. My father, who'd arrived in the country in 1938, having managed to flee Nazi-occupied Vienna, gave me 6 weeks to find work before kicking me out of the house. Incentive enough to find gainful employment. So I started a working career in hospital radio. It was my job to work on the sports desk. So what I did was travel the wards and speak to many elderly people who were dying, and I would ask them which horses they had bet on. And I went back to the sports desk and I actually told them that their horses had won. And unfortunately I was fired from that job immediately. Apparently you've got to give the correct results, you can't give what people want to hear. But it was here that I developed a love for radio, but more important, language and the power of it, both written and verbal. And I started to write freelance for Viz and Private Eye and a number of satirical publications. So what followed was a series of dead-end jobs, leading me to East London, not far from here actually, where I worked for a company that traded anything. So if Esso needed 500,000 glasses for a promotion, they'd go to Poland and they'd find a glass supplier and they'd trade that product. I did learn a raft of skills during those 8 years: design, manufacturing, import, sales. And in 1991 I decided to form my own agency, a company called Louis Kennedy. But I knew I wanted to do some social good. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but that was the objective. So, serendipity. Serendipity is a fortuitous happening. And I was in a market one day, and I found this little puzzle. It was an animal puzzle. And I sent it to the brand manager of a brand called Animals, which is owned by Cadbury's. And she rang me a week later and said, "This is ghastly, but I'm really interested in talking to you about what you could do for us." And I ended up designing these little crayons in the shape of animals that went on kids' fingers. And they put millions of them into packs of Cadbury's Animals to promote the brand. And it started me on a journey of making toys promotionally. I was useless at maths at school, but as soon as percentages correlated to money, suddenly it all clicked. The margin from that contract alone allowed me to scale the business. Serendipity, a fortuitous happening. In 1995 I was contacted by the National Autistic Society, and they'd been gifted the rights to Thomas the Tank Engine, and they'd seen some of the toys that we'd produced, and they wanted us to develop a range of collectibles in Thomas guise that they could sell to raise money for the cause. So we developed a raft of soft toys and collectibles and pin badges, and the results were unbelievable. Ordinarily charities had raised money traditionally by selling a pin badge in the shape of a heart for British Heart Foundation, or in the shape of a small child for Scope. But what this did, this bucked the trend. They used licensed property to fundraise through retailers. And I thought, there's something in this. And I spoke to my team, and in 1996 I made the conscious decision to become a cause-related marketing agency. The phrase hadn't even existed. Nobody knew what cause relation was. But I knew from the get-go that I wanted my agency to do some social good. So if we fast forward to 2007, over a 10-year period, we've facilitated and directed over £150 million working with the UK's biggest brands, retailers, licensors and charities. We were responsible for some of the world's most high-profile charity campaigns, and we now consult on corporate and social responsibility. We help charities shape their fundraising strategies, and we've won awards for our work both here and overseas. We became an appointed agency to the BBC for Children in Need, Comic Relief, Boots, Barclays, Tesco and Unilever. In fact, it was thanks in no small part to Louis Kennedy that Monkey appeared on our TV screens and was free inside packs of PG Tips to raise money for Comic Relief. But the reason we exist is because we're a translator. If you strip it back, we're a broker. Neither party spoke the other's language. Charity is soft and fluffy, big business is hard and unforgiving, and we acted as that conduit. We'd created and owned a market that 10 years earlier just hadn't existed, and delivered true social good in the process. But in 2007, the economic landscape changed. Brands and retailers supporting charity in different ways. So to survive, we needed to evolve in a changing world, a world fast becoming digital. Serendipity, a fortuitous happening. And through a mutual friend at Prostate Cancer, I was introduced to a guy called Jamie Goldblatt, founder of Mobstar Media, a modern-day Walt Disney. We developed and created some phenomenal content for charities and brands alike, and took our real world virtual. So that's me. That tells you a little bit about my journey, tells you how serendipity really played a big part in it, and thank you for listening.